Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
So on Tyson Fury's Furiosity channel, he observed, I've got to get him out of there because I'm not going to get a decision. It's unfortunate because it's hard enough to get a win just by winning. Never mind knowing you've got to knock someone out. But I'm confident and looking forward to the challenge. I hear he's got a broken jaw and a broken eye socket. So get yourself well and I'll see you in December. Anthony Joshua replied to that and said, everybody says that about Usyk. You're going to knock him out. But he's a good fighter. Give him his credit. Move on. And the question then to Tyson Fury is, if you outweigh someone by 40 pounds and you're at least 4 or 5 inches taller and have possibly the longest reach in the weight class, wasn't he expecting to knock him out first time around? What was you there for? Tiddlywinks? What's going on? In the same interview, Fury mentioned that Usyk's got a broken jaw, broken eye socket. And in all truth, Usyk didn't look in good shape when he walked out the ring. He needed one of his team as support to walk out the ring. He looked in bad shape. He didn't attend the press conference. Tyson Fury and Frank Warren, he claimed that Usyk had a broken jaw, that's why he couldn't attend the press conference. Alex Krashuk said, no, there's nothing wrong with the jaw. The eye socket, I've never heard about. Fury's just introduced that to the discussion. It's news to me. And I don't know if Frank Warren didn't come out saying that to add weight to his belief that Fury won the fight by saying, look, he broke his jaw. Look at the damage Fury did to Usyk. But Alex Krashuk said, no, there was no broken jaw. We'll see if the fight happens in December and we'll see who is worse for wears. But yeah, conceivably, this could be a good time for Fury to get Usyk. Yes, it could be. Anthony Joshua said, I'm glad Fury is not an undisputed champion. And he seemed to be saying that he's glad that he cannot be an undisputed champion as Usyk has gave up the IBF strap. And AJ will be fighting Dubois for that IBF strap, which Daniel now owns. It won't be a vacant title. Daniel Dubois has been crowned champion. Now Usyk gave up the strap. Joshua feels that Fury is too disrespectful. He likes to step on people, calling Usyk the rabbit, the middleweight.
Usyk ain't on the list. He's a no-name. No one's interested and he doesn't make any money. So what would I want to fight him for? It's a small cruiserweight. A foreigner, don't speak good English.
Gappy tooth, ugly bastard. Sign the contract.
Fury will step on you and make you look like a guy who's just come out the pub and talks like he's not on your level and then gets spanked by Usyk. I believe AJ's putting too much stock into the belts in the discussion about there only being 3 belts on the line as opposed to 4 when Usyk defends his straps against Fury in the rematch. Like the older sanctioning world titles, the New York State Athletic Commission and the National Boxing Association titles, they were a little different to the WBC, WBA, WBO and IBF. And let me explain why. Joe Louis won the belt from Jim Braddock, 1937. His first defense was against Britain's Tommy Farr, Yankee Stadium, same year, 1937. So when Louis beats Braddock, he wins the New York State Athletic Commission sanctioning body's title, and he wins the National Boxing Association sanctioning body's title. But when he defends against Tommy Farr, only the New York State Athletic Commission are sanctioning the fight. So let's say if Tommy Farr won the belt from Joe that night and he becomes world champion, only the New York State sanctioned the fight. So surely he has to go and get the other strap. The NBA. No, he didn't have to do that then. He would have just been recognized as world champion. And here's the key term, lineal champion. With Usyk, he restarted lineage by beating Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury was never lineal champion. Yeah, let's get that straight. He was never lineal champion. But Usyk is lineal champion.
I have only one question for Tyson Fury. How did he find himself a lineal champion? Everybody calls him a lineal, but I would like to know how he became a lineal. He beat Klitschko. Klitschko wasn't that time a lineal champion.
So on the same principles, what difference does it make when Usyk established lineage? He's the lineal champion. What difference does it make if they take all the belts from him, including that one that Turki Al-Sheikh gave him? Is he not still lineal champion? Did he not end the dispute about who's the best in the weight class until he loses it in the ring or lineage is re-established? And that means someone winning all 4 belts again. As far as I'm concerned, the Usyk versus Fury rematch is for undisputed, lineal, undisputed titles.
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
Who waiting for you?
I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you.
Go on. I'll get the fucking job done.
No, you won't.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm waiting for you.
I'm going to get the job done.
Either way,
Either way, he waiting for you.
I can see that's no problem. I've got 2 of them as well.
Okay.
Use them.
I'll use them both on your face, you big ugly dastard.
Okay.
You look like a tomato. Put some sunscreen on, you idiot. You look like a tomato.
Fury is getting put on the floor by MMA fighters and taking the distance. The same MMA fighters that Joshua is taking out in a couple of rounds. I don't see what's the point them going back and forth. Joshua's displaced Fury in the rankings, whether the Fury fans or the media like it or not. But now both Joshua and Fury have lost to Usyk. Their fight, not really that relevant right now. It's not.
AJ feels that Fury never wanted to fight him. Tyson Fury comes out, the fight's on, I'm happy, it's all done, spoke to the Saudis, got confirmation, let's go. 2 days after, oh, sorry guys, yeah, we've got to do the rematch. I mean, what sort of ruling is that from an arbitrator to order a rematch with a specific date, and then when the arbitration ruling comes through, you clearly see that Top Rank had the ability to terminate the agreement with Deontay Wilder back in, I think it was December. But the fact is, they didn't terminate. They kept planning the fight. They kept talking to the PBC.
The rest is now history. On hearing the result of the arbitration mediation situation, Bob Arum had a venue and date for the Wilder Fury trilogy in quick time. Everybody was shocked on how quick he came up with a date and location for the 3rd fight. I'm not tolerating no nonsense from nobody saying that Tyson Fury wanted to fight Anthony Joshua. He had his opportunity for undisputed and he blew it. And he's headed for a similar fate as his dance partner Deontay Wilder, who had a shot at undisputed in 2015 to fight Vladimir Klitschko. And we know that was swerved. And he turned down hundreds of millions from the zone, which would have led to that fight, and snitched on himself that the AJ fight was on the table when previously he denied it. If AJ Fury ever happens, cool. Yeah, cool. Whatever. But I don't care about it no more. And AJ needs to know that Fury needs that fight more than he does. He said, yeah, he wants the Fury fight, but he doesn't want to wait until he's 40 and 41 for it. And he said the reason he fought guys like Ngannou was to show Fury the levels. That's why he fought Otto Wallin, to show him the levels. Now, with an undisputed champion, the sanctioning belts still play a role. But Daniel Dubois, in my eyes, is not champion. And Anthony Joshua, he won't be champion when and if he beats Daniel Dubois. But it's a good playoff fight between 2 huge punchers who are going to draw a very good crowd there at Wembley. Very good fight, even without the belt. And that's what's important, is the matchup is really good. And you know something? When the winner's hand is raised and they're holding that belt up, they've got nothing to be ashamed about. It's a great achievement. Daniel tried to intimidate Joshua. We can go right now. AJ told him, do you want me to put this chair across your face? They were pulled apart, apparently. Not the usual suspects for behavior like that. Neither Daniel or Joshua. Is this the new Daniel?
I know you had a face-off today. When you looked Daniel in the eye, what did you see?
He's game. He's ready. We had the gloves off upstairs. Both stood up and was like, let's go now. Had a bit of beef. It was good. It was good.
And in that moment, what went through your mind?
Tell him relax. Told him to relax.
From what I've heard from the fans and media, Daniel Dubois is a huge underdog. And I think a lot of people, from viewing him as a huge underdog, are trying to say, well, this is not that good a matchup. But if Daniel was fighting any other heavyweight in the world, apart from Usyk, who's beat him already, whether that's Fury, Zhang, Parker, they wouldn't be saying it wasn't a good matchup. But Anthony Joshua always gets an extra criteria of expectation. And that's how that's going to be. You know, Daniel, he gave something what I think is quite significant to me. He said all the pressure's on Joshua. You see, when fighters say something like that, I think to myself, well, why do you care? Why do you need that exactly? Why does that matter? If you think you can win, why does it matter? I could argue all the pressure is on Daniel. AJ's been unified champion twice. This whole event is predicated around his name. So inadvertently, he told me that perhaps he's feeling the pressure a little, but he's trying to push it onto Anthony Joshua. I don't think Joshua will care if all the pressure's on him. He's been fighting world title fights and winning them since 2016.
I don't need this pressure on. Pressure.
Frank Warren said the key weapon will be the jab. And Daniel does have a good jab. And my gosh, he's going to need it. Any notions that anyone has that he can just swing a left hook or a right hand and take Joshua out, I mean, it could happen. But he's going to need a lot more in his toolkit than that. Does he have a better jab than Joshua? Joshua's got longer reach. I think Joshua's hands are faster. I think his feet are better. What Daniel has on his side, he has physical strength, and it actually looks like he takes a good shot. Even against Joe Joyce, he finally submitted when that jab hit him on the eye. It wasn't like he got chinned. Although that cruiserweight had him on his ass a couple of times. Some say he was a little fortunate to get out of that without getting stopped. The whole point is he's earned this fight. Whether it's for the title or whether it's for a chance to take a scalp like Joshua's, he's earned it.
Boxing. Beats and rhymes. Boxing. Beats and rhymes.
His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh loved the fact that when Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren came together, it took headlines, hence the 5v5. Obviously, Frank Warren has Daniel Dubois going into this fight. You're a man who's seen the circuit of boxing unfold over the years. What do you make of it all?
What, the promoters coming together? It's good, but it's pretty fake to me. But what's my opinion? What does it matter?
Yeah, but that's what...
It's just, they just don't really like each other. They come together to do business.
Yeah. But it's at least the door's open for that, right?
Money talks.
Yes.
In the simplicity of it does, yeah. It's business. They're doing good business.
We will talk about Tyson in due course, but let me just ask you a couple of things about Joshua. Yesterday, he said that a friendship between yourself and Eddie Hearn is fake. That's something that Eddie Hearn rebuffed in interviews later on. What's your take on that?
Takes a fake to know a fake.
Ooh, scathing. But
what's scathing? It's how it is. What Look, you say it's a friendship. We've got a good working relationship. And we work. And it's been for the benefit of boxing upstairs yet. Maybe it puts his nose out of joint. I don't know what it is, but we're not bosom buddies. We're not out and about. We've structured a relationship that's very friendly and it's good. Why would he go down that road? He says these things. We're not fake. We say how it is. We don't make out with somebody we're not. That's not what happens here. I don't make out. I tell people where I come from, where I started out when I was young and so forth, what I've done, and what's happened, and that's it. I don't try and change it. I don't get, I won't go into that. Remember, he should remember, I know him and I know a lot of people who were around him when he was young, and I can spot a fake when I see him, so don't worry about that.
Would you class Eddie as a friend?
I've got friends of mine from when I was a kid. We don't speak on the phone every day. He spends more time speaking with George. I mean, they're the ones who do most of it. But when we meet, we've had quite a few lunches when we've been like, for example, when we were in Riyadh, we're all out there. We had some lunch.
That comment got to Frank, boy. That got to Frank. I mean, AJ just said it as he saw it, and then he said, "What do I know?" But Frank is taking it to heart. But when Danny asked him, "Do you consider Eddie your friend?" he went into this long-winded explanation, rant, which he probably hasn't finished up until now. If he's your friend, say yes.
And he did an interview and said, your relationship with Frank Warren, it's a little bit fake.
Yeah.
Is it fake or is it real?
No, I can get why he says that, because he's not really been around us. I think, I said to Frank earlier, it was like, I don't know, 6 months, 7 months. since we first met back there, backstage. And that was fake because we were told by His Excellency to get on with it, work together, and stop the arguments. And we said, all right, then, reluctantly. But the relationship from there, to be fair, has blossomed. It's become very enjoyable. It's very beneficial for our companies, but more importantly, our fighters.
Eddie with the Labour Party, Tory Party political spin doctor answer. Just ask Eddie if he considers Frank his friend, like Danny asked him. Just ask him that. And if you don't just say yes, then it's just like what AJ says. It's more acquaintance than friendship. It's a business partnership. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just call it as it is. Like Eddie said, AJ's not really on the scene. He turns up at the presses, and on the card where he fought Otto Wallin, he buoyed off Desani and was asking, why don't Eddie ask me questions? He didn't want to fuck with Queensbury. As far as he's concerned, from when he turned pro, it was that side and our side. So Eddie is all smiles with Frank right now, but AJ ain't quite there. AJ hasn't been told that he needs to be friends by Turkey Al-Sheikh. Turkey Al-Sheikh said, you guys work together, I don't want to hear about the arguments. And with the money that was involved, they complied. They became friends of convenience straight away. Yes. Nothing wrong with that. It's an adult thing to do. I mean, at the end of what AJ said, he said they're doing good business. That's what he said.
It's business. They're doing good business.
Eddie and Frank might be all Bootsy Collins and One Nation Under a Groove, but AJ's fighting Daniel Queensbury. He's promoted by Frank Warren. And then he wants to beat up on Tyson Fury. Queensbury, promoted by Frank Warren. I love Frank's response there. It really pissed him off. But AJ don't give a fuck about Frank. He ain't throwing a jab at Frank. He's throwing a jab at Eddie Hearn. This is someone he's worked with since 2012. 12-year relationship. And all he's heard is Frank Warren this, Frank Warren that, Tyson Fury this, Tyson Fury that. And all of a sudden, you're best friends with Frank Warren, and then he's doing damage control for Tyson Fury. Like when he got injured, the cut eye in sparring. Oh, of course he didn't cut himself. And when he's falling all over the place outside the pub, lay off him, man, lay off him. And he's been doing a lot of that. And AJ's probably clocked onto that and say, boy, you switched up. Maybe AJ's wondering if Eddie's got his back like that.
Analyze what I thought to cross. Ain't no love lost.
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
I can feel it.